Most people that suffer with anxiety believe they're fighting some invisible enemy inside themselves. But what if that's not the case? What if anxiety is actually your body trying to tell you something? It's my belief, after going through years of anxiety myself, that anxiety isn't simply a condition a person has. I believe anxiety is often your body trying to communicate that something in your life is overloaded or out of alignment. That it wants you to make life changes to help yourself. And if you were to listen and make the necessary changes, your body would no longer need to communicate with you through all those uncomfortable feelings. Maybe it's telling you you're taking on too much responsibility. Maybe it's telling you that your job isn't a good fit for you. Or maybe it's telling you to stop living in fear. There's a common denominator behind many of the things your body may be trying to communicate. That common denominator is overload. In my experience, anxiety is often created by overload. Overload from either doing too much or not properly taking care of yourself. A few of the biggest overloads are overthinking, taking on too much responsibility, lack of quality sleep, routine frustrations, constant stress. If you'd like to lessen your anxiety, it may be beneficial to take a deeper look at what areas of your life are creating overload. Or maybe ask yourself, what is my anxiety trying to tell me? Maybe it's saying you need to say no to people more often. Or maybe you need to stop watching the news. Maybe it wants you to look for a new job or let go of a relationship that's no longer working. There are likely numerous things in your life creating overload. And if you can figure out what those things are and begin making changes, your anxiety may no longer be necessary anymore. Of these overloads, overthinking will likely be one of the hardest for many people to manage. There simply isn't enough time to deeply discuss overthinking in this video, but there may already be a video out there on this channel discussing that topic. Check the description below if you'd like to explore that further. The good news is many of the other overloads you may be experiencing are often easier to change than you think. You just have to make the effort. Go to bed earlier. Turn off the news. Reduce negativity. Look for and remain open to finding a better job. Say no sometimes if you genuinely don't want to do something. As you can see, you likely have more control over reducing your overload than you realize. In simple terms, lower your overload and you'll likely lessen or even eliminate much of your anxiety. I'm living proof of this. I used to work a demanding job that expected unattainable results. At the same time, I was driving 2.5 hours to hypnotherapy school and back 3 times a week while attending evening classes. To stay awake and alert, I was drinking 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day. I'm sure you can probably see where this is going. One day at work, I had a panic attack that felt like a heart attack. After several days in the hospital checking my heart, I was released in good health. But from that point forward, for about 2 years, I suffered from major anxiety attacks, and I had to take medications just to survive the day. Later, getting off those medications was extremely difficult. And I think it's important to say this. Sometimes medication is necessary. Sometimes your thoughts are moving so fast and your nervous system is so overloaded that you first need help slowing everything down before you can begin practicing healthier patterns. In my experience, medication can slow the spinning thoughts enough for you to begin reducing your overload and rebuilding your life in a healthier way. Now, I also think anxiety medications can somewhat numb you to the world and your feelings, but even so, some people genuinely need them. And if eventually you decide to come off of those medications, do it very slowly and with your doctor's help. But here's the hopeful part. not only for me, but possibly for you too. After making major changes in my life, I now live anxiety-free. I'm not on any medications. The only time I feel a small amount of anxiety now is when I drink too much coffee. And honestly, I think for some people, caffeine doesn't really provide energy as much as it overstimulates the nervous system. If you struggle with anxiety, I'd strongly consider reducing most of the caffeine in your life. Here's the important part when it comes to making changes after you figure out what's overloading you. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. In fact, trying to change everything at once often creates even more overload. The real goal is to simply become aware of what needs to change. Make a mental note of those things. Then, when opportunities for those changes begin to appear in your life, take them. Because by becoming aligned with the changes you want, you're telling life that you're ready and open for those changes. And in my experience, life often responds. When the time is right, opportunities begin appearing. Your job is to simply be ready to take them when they come. Make the necessary changes in your life to reduce your overload, and you will likely feel your anxiety begin to ease or fade away, because your body no longer needs to communicate that something's wrong. So I'd like you to ask yourself something. What is your anxiety trying to tell you? And is there one small change you could begin making soon? Remember, simple change comes from practice. The more you begin listening to yourself and reducing the overload in your life, the lighter your life may begin to feel. I wish you success. Thank you for watching. Take care.